Hello, jury. Welcome to Only Slightly Judgy podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Sean and he's Aiden, and this is your local cinema podcast where we will obsess over all things fiction and media. And for the fifth episode today, we will be wrapping up like a pretty good year for movies and entertainment in general by going through some of the biggest releases of this year and also a few indies at the end. Would you like to start things off?
Yes, sir. So we how we're gonna do this is we have a list, a pre-decided list of some of the biggest releases this year, and we're gonna go in chronological release order for this year. Now, the top of the list, and what I might argue as the best thing on this list, is none other than Ryan Coogler's Sinners. Now, this is something that when I saw the trailer for this release, if you remember when the first trailer released, it was, I think it was 1.5 minutes of maybe one, two, three lines of dialogue, and it was just flashes upon flashes upon flashes of what it is. The trailer is the kind of trailer that basically tells you nothing, and from that I got hooked. I was like, I am watching this in IMAX. Like, this is something so unique, something so original that I have to experience it.
Mm. For me, it was quite the opposite. I don't actually remember what was in the trailer at all, other than the fact that like some people were saying that like why did they show like Haley Steinfeld as a vampire in the trailer alone? Like for me, I only watched it like like I knew it existed, but I didn't really pay attention to it until people started raving about it about like 1 week after release, and I went to watch it in IMAX like the following week, and oh, it's amazing, man! It's amazing.
It's so good. I kind of it kind of makes me sad that they put that Haley Steinfeld scene in the trailer, because can you imagine like the reveal of that scene? Like there are already scenes before that show that they are vampires, but can you imagine seeing that scene for the first time in IMAX and she says, "Oh, we gonna kill every last one." Oh my god, I'm pressed back into my seat, bro.
I'm gonna be honest, like knowing that review didn't really take anything like out of it for me. Like for me at least, it's like the journey getting there is like so interesting that it doesn't really matter, and that only happens like I guess like halfway through the movie. It's like the second half is still packed with like even more
Yeah.
like crazy stuff in general.
What's crazy is that like the vampire stuff and the setting up the juke joint stuff feels like two completely different stories. But somehow by the midpoint of the movie, Coogler managed to weave them together in a homogeneous like timeline. And I think that's just a masterclass of writing and directing that I don't think has I don't think anything has topped that this year.
Yeah, just like the sheer like awesomeness of it. Like thematically, this is also a very strong movie. The themes are pretty straightforward and obvious, and that like it only adds to like what's being presented by the music and the visuals when you have like the themes interwoven into the story going on, and it's just amazing all around.
Ludwig Göransson's score, he never misses. He never misses. That's all I'll say. That's all I will
Yeah,
say. It's so good. Sinners is my best picture. But
like
yeah,
as of time of recording, it's mine too.
yeah. But I saw I don't know whether it's been confirmed or not. It might just be a rumor. But apparently it's not even being considered for best picture. No, I mean
I
like
feel like
it's not in the short list. It's not shortlisted. But I don't know if
the
that's true or
shortlist
not.
isn't public for the main categories, so that might just be a rumor.
Hmm.
And I highly doubt they would exclude that.
Yeah.
Just off like yeah.
Like there's no
It's
way,
just
right?
you should check it out, but you should also do so like you should wait for like February or March to see if they put it back into cinemas before like the award season. You shouldn't watch it at home just yet.
Yes. I am praying for an IMAX re-release here. I am praying for that. I
I'll settle for 2D. We will get like the script.
I like I regret not going to watch it like a second time in the cinema. And it's like I only want to watch it that one time, and I regret that. I really want to go watch it again in a cinema experience.
It's just something that's so dependent on like being in a huge room on a huge screen
Yeah.
with like the speakers booming that you can't really replicate it at home.
Like um the the trance scene with Mouse Catton, that is an out of body experience to
Yeah.
witness.
So when the camera like pans up to like the burning roof and then like
Oh,
frame ratio expands, it's like probably one of the like the single best experience I've had at the cinema this year.
dude, he can't keep getting away with this. Cougar can't keep getting
Yeah.
away with this. Um,
And what's crazy
yeah,
is that like the trance isn't even like the only memorable scene. You still have like
yes.
the ending scene with the sunrise, and you have like Rocky Road
Oh,
to Dublin.
last time I've seen the sun is so hits me right here. Uh, Michael B. Jordan again proving to us why he's such a strong lead actor in any project that he's in. You know, I think he's one of those actors that is like super popular but underrated at the same time.
I feel like most people only know him from Killmonger, like maybe not
Yeah,
even Creed. Yeah, it's just and he has like so much more to
I
give.
watched Fruitvale Station for the first time this year, and that was so good. That was such a good movie, and obviously Creed is incredible as well. Um, yeah,
It's just yeah, the trance scene is obviously famous, but there's another like one take shot in the beginning with like the Chinese couple in their grocery store.
yes,
I also really loved, and it's just like every aspect is just like really really strong here. It's like all the talents are on full display, like from the cast to the crew. It's just amazing. Yeah.
that oneer is so seamless. Like I didn't even notice until somebody was like, "Yo, it's still one take," and I'm like, "What?" And then I had to wait for it to come out on digital to watch that part again. I was like, "Whoa, that is such a seamless oneer." Like again, it's just a masterclass. I know I'm repeating that word a lot, but yeah. All right, that is Sinners. Let's move on to the
And then
next thing on our
next one,
list, which is Nerja 2. Yes, we have a. I think, like, we can't talk about this year without talking about Nerja 2.
yeah, it's
It
just
is,
another like
yeah,
like mega hit, like getting numbers, getting reviews.
it is the highest grossing movie this year. I have this list up here. Worldwide, it's at $1.9 billion. Yeah, that is insanity. That is insane. Like, I don't think even the first movie did this well.
No, it didn't, and it came out at a time where it went like really under the radar.
Yeah, it really did. Um,
But to be fair, this like the second one steps up like in every single aspect from the first. It's just like such an like immense improvement
yeah.
over the first.
Like, I think the first movie is only like an hour plus long. This second
Like
one is
one
like
and a half.
this
Yeah.
second one is like almost 2.5 hours. It's insane. Um, but yeah, you can very clearly tell that Chinese animation studios have a different work ethic because the amount of tax evasion animation in this project is insanity. The final battle scene between the demons and Wu Liang's army, bro, and how, like, you know, the thing where he grows the giant tree and then all his soldiers stand on it and then it looks like they're leaves. Oh my god, so good.
Yeah. And talking about the animation, it's like according to what I've read, the director initially outsourced animation to like famous big studios worldwide. But then like due to it being a Chinese project and not a known like IP, like they all assigned their like third rate, fourth rate teams to
Yeah,
work on it. And so like he was not pleased. He scrapped the whole thing and he gave it to like about 50 like local Chinese studios instead. So like each one did like only a small part and the product just turned out to be like awesome. As I think it's just amazing, like like a ragtag filmmaking process where it's not like just like a few companies doing all the work. It's interesting.
like, without hesitation, I would put Nerja 2 in the animation Hall of Fame. Easily for me. I think it's like everything from the animation to the story to the emotional beats to the character. It's so compelling and it's so interesting, and it's like I was never bored actually, which is crazy.
It's like they go from like big set piece to big set piece, like almost
Yeah,
effortlessly, and it's like do all these characters need to be doing all this? It's like
there are
just
so
like
many
so that they
characters as well.
just to show that they can, and that's amazing.
Yeah, they just flex that they can. Like it's so, it flows so well. Like you could go from like whatever Necha is doing, and then you go down to Sheng Kong Bao, and then he's like doing something completely different, and it's a completely different tone and everything. Yeah. Also, it's extremely funny. It is extremely funny. The
Yeah,
the the cinema I was in could not stop laughing. Especially that scene where he pisses in the tea.
yeah. That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, mm,
And like
like
what's crazy is that it became so popular and so renowned that Hollywood was like, okay, we'll throw an English dub in there, and they released it in America. That is how you know. That is how you know that. That's how big of a scale Naja 2 had, and an effect that
yeah,
it had this year.
mm,
Yeah, easily probably the best animation to come out this year. The next thing on our
mm.
list is the
It's also
is
animation.
is also animation. It's the next most famous thing, most famous animation to come out this year. Probably one of the most famous things to come out this year as
Yeah, just in
well.
general.
Like
Yeah,
the grasp, the chokehold it has on the internet is insanity. We are of course talking about none other than K-pop Demon Hunters. Sean, anything to add first?
K-pop Demon Hunters. Like putting aside the cultural phenomenon that it became, the movie itself is just a really, really good time from
Mm.
start to finish. Obviously, you have like Sony Pictures Animation, arguably like the best animation studio in the game now, and you have like
Yeah,
it's like the style I wouldn't describe as like completely groundbreaking, but it's like a step up from the usual like um what we associate with like the general blockbuster animation style, but like
yeah.
one step above that. And it has like it has a lot of things going for it. Great songs, obviously, good, cool character designs, like humor, story, a little heart. It has a lot going for it.
Yeah, I really commend the style that it has. Like the animation that it has is so unique. It's familiar yet something so unfamiliar at the same time. You know, it's that level of, I don't know whether it has anything to do with like the rendering or something, but it's like it goes so seamlessly from like you could easily mistake it for hand drawn animation in my opinion. Like just the way that the characters move, like it I think it very much resembles how like the Disney Forgotten era, like Atlantis and Treasure Planet, like that's exactly how those characters move in my opinion. Uh yeah. What else did we talk about? I wanted to say something,
Songs.
but I
Any
forgot.
favorites?
Songs. Um, I stick by my initial thoughts, and after listening to the album again and again and again, I stick by my initial thoughts. I think the best songs are Your Idol and Free.
Mm.
These
I'll
two.
say it's like Your Idol and Golden.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so honest, and the internet's gonna crucify me for this since we're putting this up on YouTube. Golden is not for me. By no means is it a no. By no means am I saying it's a bad song, but it's very pop formula in from my point of view, which is why it's not really for me. But I understand why people like it. I understand that it is a good song. So yeah.
Mm. No opinion because like I don't really know music that well. But like
Mm.
I would say like the only song I really dislike on that album is What It Sounds Like. I just think it's really repetitive
Yes,
and
that one grew on me, cause when I watched the movie, and what it sounds like is plays, and I was just like, not only is it okay, it's not a bad song, but it felt at the time of watching, it felt narratively unsatisfying, because I feel like it didn't fit the tone of what was happening.
Mm.
Like it was very I don't know how to describe it. It's just a thing that I felt when it came on. And I'm like, oh, this is a bit jarring
Mm.
to hear
I
to
didn't like
start with.
it. I didn't like it a lot as like a finale song, and like I know like a finale song has a lot of weight to carry,
Yeah,
but I just didn't really like this one as like their ending song. Everything else, great.
yeah, exactly. Um, Obviously, given the name K-pop Demon Hunters, it's very K-pop inspired. Obviously, um, I do think I do think the songs are written very well though, and as well as like the composition and stuff. So, I really like that. Um, in terms of story, what do we think?
Mm, you could call it formulaic, and I would agree. Like these are not by any means like complex, multi-layered characters. They are simple, like sort of like archetypes. But the fact is just that this just works so well as like both like their group dynamic and also the general plot.
Yeah,
It's simple, easy to follow, and it's like you're not really expecting it to have any sort of like twists and turns, and it doesn't need to. It just follows like the formula straight.
I think some way somehow Sony found the correct ratio for enemies to lovers to just grab the internet. You know, I think they just really knew how to get people's attention and get people to really like the movie, as well as like I think before I watched it, I tried to predict the plot. I don't remember what I said, but it was like 60% correct. So
Yeah, I can't remember you posting about this.
yeah. So I was like, so again, by no means a bad movie. I do take issue with Rumi's arc because like her transition from her wanting to hide her marks to kind of being outed as demon, and then like her scene with Celine where she's like, why don't you love me, that part, and then she's like, if this is the end of the honeymoon, then I'm glad to see it end, and then she goes full demon. I'm like, whoa, I was not expecting that. And then after that, when she comes back in, then she goes, so we can make a new honeymoon. I'm like, I feel like we jumped from C to Z like in like that. Like we jumped to that really fast. I felt there was not enough time, essentially. The movie easily
Mm.
could have been half an hour longer.
Yeah, it is really short, and like the world they built and like the characters they set up has like a lot more material in them, and I hope they do something more with it.
Hmm.
But it's also like I don't go into a movie called K-pop Demon Hunters and try to like fault it for like story stuff like that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Mm.
I do remember like I remember, okay, let's finally see what people are talking about, and I booted it up, right? Then I see Sony Pictures Animation, and I'm like, guys, go make Across the Spider-Verse. What are you doing?
It's just side quest, side quest.
So what kind of okay, very successful side quest lah. So, you know.
Yeah, and it's just funny that like as much as Netflix tries to downplay animation, their biggest hits year after year turn out to be animation,
Yeah,
and it's just funny.
exactly. For some reason, Netflix is so good at animation. For some reason.
Yeah, I feel like they have easily the best animation catalog out of like anyone else in the industry now. It's just crazy if you look at it.
That's that's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah,
Um,
and for the next ones, unless you have anything else, no.
no. We can move on.
Yeah, we're gonna jump into like the mid-year, the mid-year superhero releases, starting with Marvel's Thunderbolts asterisk. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, the new Avengers apparently.
Yeah. Uh, Thunderbolts. I was surprised by how good it was, especially because
Yeah.
now, especially with Marvel, I go in with expectations lower than zero. I go in with negative expectations because I can't be disappointed again, man. Like it's too much on my psyche. But
Mm.
yeah.
Thunderbolts, it is like for me it is a glorious return to form for Marvel
I agree.
after a few rocky years like in the post Endgame era. And it's just, if you ask me, I would say it has no single defining quality, but it is a very solid like B tier mid range Marvel movie
It's a good
that we
all
all used
rounder.
back in the day. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put this on the level on the same level as like mm, the first Avenger, like Captain America, the first Avenger,
Yeah.
and like
I thought you
Doctor
said the
Strange.
first Avengers. I was like,
No, no,
whoa.
Captain America. Yeah, like the really solid like sort of like solo superhero movies that we used to love as a kid.
Yeah. I think it has that same amount of heart, and I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah,
The I don't think I can even say depression allegory. I don't think it's an allegory. I think that was just straight up like the core of the movie. But yeah, I'm really surprised with how well they pulled Sentry off. I think that was really well handled. Like I was very scared with how they were gonna do Sentry, but man, Lewis Pullman is so good. He was so good at
yeah.
Sentry. He pulled it off.
And like going in, most people worried about like pitting Sentry against a team of like street level heroes, but I
Yeah.
think the conclusion of that fight was really really done well, and like I love it a lot.
Yeah, that's why I was looking at the Thunderbolts before watching it. I was looking at the Thunderbolts lineup, and I'm like, how are these people going to beat the Sentry, the guy that can punch Null in the face? I mean, he doesn't win, but like he still punches Null in the face. So like, how are they gonna beat this guy? And lo and behold, the power of friendship.
Yeah, and this is like one case where it's like really really done well. I just love every second of it.
Yeah, I did. I did want them to do. You know the thing in the comics. There's if you don't know, like Sentry's Watchtower, right? It's where Avengers Tower is, but when people look at it, they can only see Avengers Tower. Only Sentry sees the actual Watchtower, and it's this massive like horned like black tower. It looks like Barad-dûr from Lord of the Rings. So it's, yeah. I hope they did. I kind of wish they did that, but you know, you can't adapt everything, I guess.
Yeah, I guess like a group of misfits working together in like superhero media is like a tried and true trope. And while I do think that that trope usually needs like an R rating to be really good, this
Yeah,
is still like a solid example of that.
yeah. Um, I will say the new Avengers title card reveal. I thought that was really sick. Like for me, that
Really,
was probably like the best part of the movie.
I didn't really like it. It felt like it could have just been its own thing. But then like I understand like I guess story purposes, but you know,
Yeah, because they're not really the quote unquote Thunderbolts. Because Thunderbolts are led by, obviously, Thunderbolt Ross, the Red Hulk, right? So I was like, how are they going to be connected to Ross? Especially because this is after Brave New World. So I'm like, why would you name your own team after the president that just destroyed the White House?
yeah,
And then it turns out it's what is it? Her Pee Wee soccer team.
football team, yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Like, sure, like do what you will.
That's why I felt like the Thunderbolts name after that reveal, I was like, okay, the Thunderbolts name is kind of a cop out. But then they did New Avengers, I was like, oh, that's what they want to do. I
Yeah.
honestly think the Dark Avengers would have made more sense. But I guess in the movie it wouldn't make sense to call them the Dark Avengers, I guess.
Mm.
But
I'm just biased because I really love. I think like John Walker is is the best part of Falcon and Winter Soldier,
yeah.
and Red Guardian and I guess Yelena are also the best part of Black Widow. So
Yes.
it's like it's good stuff.
It they very I'm so happy they decided to capitalize on the best parts of Black Widow, because there aren't many. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Moving on,
Yep. The next Marvel phenomenon, Fantastic Four.
you can take this away. I have unfortunately not watched it.
Oh really?
Blasphemy.
Oh, I thought you have. Okay, okay.
Okay,
So
it's still worth a mention, so you can take this away.
so we have tried over and over again to make Fantastic Four work on the big screen. Our first attempt didn't even go to the big screen. This is the secret Fantastic Four that was in development but never made it out. And actually those actors had cameos in this Fantastic Four movie, which I thought was really fun. Our second attempt is the more famous one. That's the one with Chris Evans as the Human Torch, Jessica Alba's Invisible Woman. That one was unique to its era, and I think to this day still holds its charm, right? Because I think it's just nostalgia as well. And then obviously we have the one we don't talk about, Fanforstic. Even though I do think Miles Teller's Reed is the perfect maker. He would make a perfect live action The Maker. If you don't know who The Maker is, go read Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars. You'll thank me later. So for this Fantastic Four, I will preface that when the casting list came out, I didn't like it. I could not see Pedro Pascal as a good Reed Richards. Like, it just didn't click for me. At that point, I'm like, okay, this man's just collecting franchises like Infinity Stones. I loved Vanessa Kirby casting as Invisible Woman. That would have been mine as well. In hindsight, I think Pedro Pascal is a good Mr. Fantastic. I think he does that role very well, and he definitely does it well than Adam Driver would have. If you remember that really old casting that came out during the pandemic, I think that casting of it was Adam. You don't know? There was a casting of Adam Driver, Reed Richards. Then it was Emily Blunt as. Was it Emily Blunt? It was like Emily Blunt or Margot Robbie as Sue Storm. Yeah. Adam Driver as Reed Richards. Oh, just kill
I haven't heard of that,
just
and I really don't see it.
just kill me. No. But yeah, I think in the movie, Pedro Pascal does really well, surprisingly well. Like this is by no means a shot at like him as an actor, but to pulling off Reed Richards is not that easy, and I commend him for this effort because I think it works, right? Because the core at Reed's character is that he is the smartest man in the known universe, in the known multiverse, and he knows it. Therefore, he is the most arrogant, egotistical person ever who thinks he can do everything and anything, right? I think Pedro Pascal took that a level down, but made up for it in really portraying how much Reed cares about family, regardless of his ego. So I think that was really good. Joseph Quinn as Human Torch, amazing. People complained that he wasn't flirty enough. I think he was the right amount of flirty, because I think while flirty is one of Johnny's more surface characteristics, I think people forget how much heart Johnny truly has, and that's especially seen in Human Torch Spider-Man comics. You know, Ebon Moss-Backrack, amazing thing. Okay, I'm gonna talk a bit about the Thing design. The issue with the Thing design so far is that number one, he's not big enough, and number two, he just doesn't look like him. Like the initial Fantastic Four movies, like they got the bulkiness, but he was as tall as Reed Richards, and you could see his eyes. When in comics, you can almost never see his eyes unless like it's angled in a way that you can look at his eyes, because he has this big, thick rock eyebrows, right? Like, yeah, and I'm so happy they nailed that here. For once, you need to have small eyes, the big eyebrows, and he was big. The issue with like Fanforstic's Thing is that number one, he was entirely CGI, which I don't think is bad, but the CGI itself was mid. And number two, I don't know why in Fanforstic he just wasn't wearing pants. Like that was a choice. But yeah, I think they nailed the thing really well in terms of how much heart this brawny guy can have. Um, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Franklin
Oh.
Richards' big screen debut. Love it. Can't wait to see what more retconning he can do in the future, because that's what he's known for in the comics. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents on Fantastic Four.
And for stick like thing design, I'll say it doesn't really look like thing unless someone tells you it's a thing. It looks like a golem,
Yes,
like
yes.
just a general
It just
golem.
looks like a stone golem. It's
Yeah.
and I hated that Ben. Like he, that Ben in Fantastic truly did not care about anything. He really didn't care about anything, and I hated that. Like, nah, that's a bit meh. Like, like Sue Storm in that movie did nothing to keep the team together. She also kind of didn't care. So, yeah, it felt Fantastic felt like a group of teenagers forced to be together, and none of them wanted to be there, and I hated that. So, yeah. But enough about Fantastic. Let's move on. 2.
Moving on to arguably the greatest superhero phenomenon this year. We have James Gunn's Superman. The
Yes.
first like I guess proper entry in the new DCU, and he just knocks it out of the park on his first try. It is glorious.
I used to dream for times like these. I used to pray for times like these. Oh, Superman was amazing. It was an amazing adaptation. Amazing. So good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh
that's what you get when you have like a whole creative team who are all passionate about this character, the comics, and what he stands for. Unlike certain previous examples we would not bring up at this time.
again, prime example of getting people to make projects about source material that they are passionate about and source material that they like, that they actually like. You know? Sorry, I will not mention he who shall not be named, wherever he is. But yeah, I think just this Superman is just completely a perfect adaptation of the character. It feels like we ripped him out of the page and put him on the screen. Legitimately. We can have a whole nother episode, a whole nother discussion talking about Man of Steel and why it's not a bad movie, but why it is a not so ideal adaptation of Superman. But that's for a whole nother time. Um
Yeah.
what else about Superman? Nicholas Hoult, Lex Luthor.
Just just incredible. Again, like rip straight out of the page. You have like the mannerisms, the dialogue, he nailed like every single part of it down.
Yeah.
And just like Superman, would I say it's an incredible, flawless movie? Not really. But did I have a huge smile on my face for the whole 2 hours? Yes, of course I did.
Yes. Honestly, when I saw they casted Nicholas Hoult, I was like, I'm not sure about that, because I mostly know Nicholas Hoult for Beast. And like a transition from Beast to Lex Luthor is a jarring difference, right? But then I watched the menu,
Menu, yeah,
and
the
then I
menu.
was like, yeah, he can do it. He
Yeah,
can do
that's
it.
where I get it from.
He just he's what's his name from the menu? Tyler. He just needs to be Tyler with way more confidence and way more arrogance. And like you
Yeah,
got Lex
and
down.
you just got such like a comic booky villain. He's like
Yes.
he doesn't even try to be grounded. His entire plan is like a fighting game, and like we just love that.
I like I love that they adapted how much just how much Lex gets rage baited in the comics all the time. Like all the memes that came out was like Lex Luthor is the ultimate rage baited. And I'm like, he's been like that the whole time. Like he gets rage baited all the time in comics. And he loves to rage bait Superman as well. You know the first issue of DCKO where he smiles at Superman and is like go save a kitten from a tree. It's like, oh, that's just him, man. Yeah.
Yeah, like over the years, Lex Luthor has gone from more of a mad scientist inventor type to like this petty businessman type, and like the iteration that they took is one that I really really love.
Yeah, he's Elon. He's essentially Elon, right?
He's Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, he's Bezos because he's bald.
Yeah,
Rachel
and
Brosnahan, Lois Lane.
Mm, good all around, as good as the rest of the cast is. Yeah, I feel
I
like
think I
it's really
really really like
incredible
her. Yeah.
how many aspects they were just able to nail from like going from characters, elements, sets. Mm, yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I really like her as Lois. I think she really nails down the mannerisms and stuff. Sorry, I'm just looking for a name right now. Um,
Mm,
I think she really nails it. I think she's probably my second favorite Lois Lane. My favorite Lois Lane is still the CW Lois Lane actually. What's her name? Bitsy Tulok, beside Tyler Hoechlin's Superman. I think she's a really, really good Lois Lane. If you've not seen like um Superman and Lois, um that I haven't fully watched the entire show. I think I watched like the first few episodes of the first season and also a few episodes of like Supergirl and stuff. But I think she's a really, really good Lois Lane because Lois Lane is meant to be that grounded source of comfort for Clark, right? And I think Bitsy just does it so well. I think Rachel does that really well in this movie in Superman as well. So yeah, that like it's so easy to be
yeah.
that Lois Lane. Um, if you want to talk about like Amy Adams, I think her 5 minutes of screen time in Justice League was better than her entire screen time in Man of Steel. Honestly,
Yeah, I guess like when adapting Lois Lane, it's important to remember like at the time, like very early on in the story or the timeline, she already has a Pulitzer Prize. So
yes,
like this is like not just a love interest. It's not just like someone for like Clark to relate to. It is like she's like one of the single best journalists in the entire world,
yeah,
and she should be like an
I
intellectual challenge
yeah.
to play against like Superman.
I had this conversation recently with another friend of mine, and they were like they didn't like how Lois Lane is always they didn't like how they're still doing the damsel in distress thing, and I'm like, Lois Lane is the complete opposite of a damsel in distress. Like, she is probably one of the first most independent female characters to ever exist. Like, Lois Lane has always been this self-made career driven character that and that's why Clark admires her. And that's the reason why Clark loves her as well. It's because she has just that much purpose, that much drive into doing what she wants, and that's what he likes. Yeah.
Yeah, and we could go on and on about like the amount of things they pulled from the comics and did extremely well.
Yeah.
You have like Fortress of Solitude, you have Crypto,
Oh,
even Supergirl, and
yes.
then like the more like obscure superheroes, Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner.
If you want us to talk more about Superman, let us know. We can do a whole episode on it. Uh, but yeah. Should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
All right. The next thing on our list is weapons. Da, 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 da. Thoughts about weapons?
It's really unique. I do not consider myself a horror fan at all. Like either I don't have the balls to it or I think generally it's pretty repetitive. But I do like a few of the like more like alternative horror movies that have come out recently and like
Yes.
they do seem to be the trend with like Neon and A24 and stuff. And Weapons is just a really good example of that. It has the right amount of like suspense, a very, very long build up, and a climax that feels earned and doesn't take anything away from the rest of the story.
Yeah. I have to admit, first time I watched Weapons, I was like, this is taking too long. This is so drawn out. But that payoff at the end was in the third act is so worth it. It's so worth like the first two acts of the movie. And like I watched it again to just kind of appreciate it as a whole, and I've had like a whole newfound love for weapons, and it's just its ingenuity and its bravery at what it's trying to do, because it's extremely ambitious, but it's pulled off so well.
The structure of the story I really love as well, with like different characters' perspectives. It feels like sort of like a novella in that sense, where you have like these different perspectives of just one pretty minor event happening in a very like limited location. I just like that as well.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Um, performance wise, God, I think everyone did really well. Um, what's her name? Julia something.
Garner.
Julia
Garner.
Garner. Yes, she's really good. Oh, she was in Fantastic Four as well, Silver Surfer. Um,
Yeah, great year for her.
yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
For me,
great year for her. Yeah.
the standout performance would be from like the junkie. I don't remember what his character or the actor's name is. I
I
think he
don't
just
either.
did really well. Or like he plays such a small part in the story, but like his segment was arguably the best one for me.
Yeah, it was really funny. I really like Josh Brolin in this.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin is so good in this. I was surprised by how much of a presence this character had, because from like promotionals, he doesn't look like he has that much of a presence. Like I thought like Benedict Wong would have way more of a role, but oh that reveal of him running towards her in the petrol station, that was insane. That was
Yeah, and
insane
that's where the
sequence.
plot really starts to pick up as well. So that's a catalyst of all that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, the makeup team, amazing work. Like the past 2 years really have been a renaissance for practical makeup, for practical effect. You know, with like Sinners, The Substance, like really a year for really like an era for practical effects, and I'm glad to see it happen again.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring up like Osgood Perkins' Long Legs from last year as well as a great example of like
Yes.
a semi horror movie that I really love. That one you should check it out too if you like weapons.
I have not seen that. I've seen tons of clips of that though, and it actually
Mm.
looks really good. I think for me it's really the alternative horror that's getting really good. Like none of that Conjuring doesn't
Yeah,
it doesn't appeal to me. You know?
yeah, me neither. It's like I like this trend though. It started with like I guess like stuff like Hereditary,
Yeah,
Midsommar, A24 stuff. Yeah, and it's just picking up now.
yeah.
Great stuff.
Alternative horror. Please invest in more of that. Yes. Um, the last major motion picture on our list is Stephen King's The Running Man. Now, I remember watching the trailer for The Running Man, and I just thought, man, this looks like fun. And I feel like with like for the past 3 to 4 years, I can feel myself slowly turning into an action junkie. Because I don't know why. It's like, have you heard of Carry On?
Yeah, it's the one with like the airport security,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Last year.
the Taron Egerton movie
Yeah, I hadn't watched
last
it.
year. I think that movie converted me into an action junkie because that movie was incredible. Yeah, if you haven't checked out Carry On, do that. It's on Netflix, I think. So easy access for most people. But yeah, back to The Running Man. What did you think?
Mm, I didn't really like it that much, honestly. I was hoping I would, but I guess like I expected it would be a lot more stylish, not just because of
Yeah,
Edgar Wright, but because of like some of the promotional and like his creative side really shines through in segments with like the resistance pamphlets, the short clips. I feel like a lot of that is a bit lost, especially when it gets to the action. So
yeah,
like I'm like a bit of the opposite of you, where like everything I love was like the parts that involve Glenn Powell's main character the least. Like the
yeah.
stuff with
That's fair.
the corporation, the studio, the like this flashy MC guy, and also the stuff with
Yeah,
like the resistance. Yeah.
I do get the fact that because that was something I was struggling with while I was watching the movie as well, because it felt like an Edgar Wright movie and not at the same time. You get what I mean? Like like you said, every part that wasn't an action scene for me really felt like Edgar Wright's style. But the minute like action started and like showdown started and stuff like that, I was like, it's losing a bit of his touch here and there. Um, yeah, I mostly like the imagery and the imagination of the movie, seeing as how it's not that dystopic of a reality from the world we are living in right now. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And the fact that like it was like written like what 20, 30 years ago, it just feels really like prophetic. It's like, oh wait,
yeah.
that's actually happening. Yeah, and for me, I'll highlight the two parts I really love. One of them was in like Michael Cera's house
Oh
when they were,
yes.
and that just had like I like action set pieces with a lot of like built-in humor to it, where it's like it's the set is functional and like the comedy is not in dialogue or anything. It's just in like the actions are
It
happening.
was futuristic Home Alone. It was so good.
Yeah, I really love that. Like just like Michael Cera's cockiness at the whole thing, and the fact that he really did pull off the escape to some extent. Yeah.
Precisely. And the other thing you wanted to say?
Oh, the other thing, I guess the entire ending sort of like fight on the airplane, I would say was really good as well.
Yeah.
Not for the action, but for the sort of like perspectives on display here. You have like the main character, the studio head, and also like spoiler alert, the winner of the first like season of the game
Yeah.
coming back as like the secondary villain.
Yeah. I kind of wish that Common Domingo had more screen time. I mean, I don't know how you would add more screen time, but I wanted to see him more. He was really good. Common Domingo was really good. But yeah, I think Glenn Powell proving again that um he can. I guess it's like he can do like action roles, and he keeps proving that again and again. But it's also like he can do unique projects, because I would say Running Man is a very unique project compared to what he usually does. So yeah, all the more reason that Glenn Powell is my booster gold. James,
It's just
take note.
his performances from the movies I've seen, I guess like only about three of them, but have been like pretty watchable.
Yeah.
That's actually how I use. And we will potentially cover a lot of the Stephen King adaptations that came out this year
Yes.
later. Yeah, potentially.
Um, but yeah, I think Glenn Powell is an example of like a very general audience appealing actor. Like you see Glenn Powell is like, hey, that's the guy from Top Gun Maverick, and yeah, that's just him.
Mm.
All right.
Should we move on to the next section?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, this is one that I am personally very excited to rant about. We are going into the tiny indie section of this episode, where we will each give some of the more unique indie films that we have watched this year. As of time of recording, like December is when I usually catch up to indie releases because they take a while to be available on digital. And yeah, the first one I'm going to mention is Lost in Starlight. It is a Korean animated movie that is on Netflix and has been since I guess like May or June. I would say this is easily one of my top three movies of the year so far, just because of
Sorry,
first of all the animation.
I'm googling because I need to
Sure,
see this for myself. But yeah,
the
go on.
animation is gorgeous. Um,
Wow.
I like the colors. The color scheme is the purples, pinks, yellows, and oranges. I guess that they use. It really appeals to me. It scratches an itch in my brain, and also the animation is done in a way where it's like clearly a lot of artistic talents going to this, but also a lot of times they would do like skip frames or alter the frame rate like like randomly, and so it just adds to this like hand-drawn, hand animated feel that it has. And while the story is kind of basic, so like if you haven't heard of this, the premise is that this girl is an astronaut who um a mother passed on like a previous space mission, and she has now been selected to like carry on this sort of legacy in a new space mission. And before she's about to leave, she meets this like ordinary Joe kind of repairman guy, and they fall in love briefly. That's all the premise of this. It's a very basic story, but just the fact that it's animation, and also they do this like sort of retro futuristic sci-fi vibe that I also really love.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really do recommend it. It's a great watch.
I'm looking at images now, and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's
It's just
so
like every is
attractive.
just an outpouring of like color, color splash all
Yeah.
across. Yeah, and
I'm
it
already
also
seeing
has
comments on the soundtrack, and the score is amazing, and I'm already getting
yeah,
excited. Like, okay, I'm definitely gonna
yeah,
watch
they
this.
do have like between 5 to 8 original songs, I think, and
Wow.
they're all original, made for this movie specifically, and each of them really adds to the scene that they are used in. It's like when I listen to the songs, I can still remember what's going on in the scene. I think it's really, really just amazing, and I could not recommend it more.
Mm. This looks fire. This looks so good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would definitely check this out sooner than later. Yeah. For me, I only have one, and I've already talked about it before on a previous episode. It is A Big Bold Beautiful Journey. I think I talked about this in episode 1. It's one of my favorites right now. Um, just to reiterate, I think it is an amazing It's an amazing telling of just different elements from different romance tropes, and I think that's how you make a romance movie that's unique, because a lot of romance movies have the same tropes again and again and again. I think the way to combat that, which Big Bold Beautiful Journey does, is you take elements from different tropes and then mash them into one, and then that's how you get this strange amalgamation of just brilliant dialogue and brilliant scene building. Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell have unmatched chemistry in this movie, and I think it's so unlikely that this kind of movie comes out at this time of year with this little reception. I have not yet met someone who I've said, "Oh, you should watch Big Bold Beautiful Journey," and they were like, "Oh, I have watched it. It's so good." I have not met anyone, and I've not had that conversation. So, it's definitely flies under a lot of people's radars. I think it would. I think, regardless of how famous these actors are, I think this movie does classify as indie because it's written by a guy who has no other writing credits. This is his writing debut, I guess. Um, but yeah, it's written so well. The score, I think the score after Sinners, it is my favorite score this year. Like, Joe Hisaishi,
Actually,
amazing dude, amazing composer, and yeah, I just think Big Bold Beautiful Journey is such a retrospective and thought-provoking movie about not romance, about just relationships, whether that's romantic or platonic or familial. It's just relationships and the connections that we have with people. Yeah, I love it. It's so good.
I've already given my thoughts on this, like when you mentioned it earlier in the first
Yeah,
episode, so I will not be saying it again. And I will check it out. I guess I'm not exactly in a hurry to do it,
yeah, yeah.
unfortunately. Yeah, and my second and last recommendation for today would be No Other Choice. It's a Korean movie by Park Chan-wook, and I'm not really familiar with his previous stuff other than Old Boy. You probably heard of that. Old
Oh,
Boy.
Old Boy, the guy who did Old Boy,
Yes,
director.
and yeah, director.
Whoa,
Yeah, apparently he's this legend in the Korean movie community, which I'm not really sure about. But No Other Choice is fantastic.
that is
It is,
crazy.
mm, I guess you would classify it as dark comedy. It is a fantastic dark comedy, where if you are unaware, the premise is there's this guy who works at a paper factory, and the paper factory has now been bought over by Western companies, and they're firing people. So he gets fired, and he begins to have he tries to come up with a really crazy plan to sort of get his job back, because I guess over there they have this culture where it's employment is really, really, really emphasized on. So and it just plays into the sort of dark comedy really, really well, where I don't really know how to explain this, but a lot of the parts where I laughed the most at were just scene transitions. Like watching a lot of Western movies like we do, like we sort of get used to how they do scene transitions, but
Yeah,
in this it's just hilarious. It is inventive, creative, but granted that's because I don't really follow the Korean indie scene. But to me, I really, really like this, and I will be checking out more of his stuff very soon.
mm, this looks also very good.
Yeah, it is the visual style is something we are not really familiar with the type of content we usually consume, and the style of humor is also really great. and the whole plot and I guess the themes of it are just rooted in such deep irony where like that's where you derive most of the humor from. I really do suggest you check it out because I'm not sure how to describe it more without spoiling anything.
Hmm. It's an adaptation of a novel.
Yeah, I guess it's a loose one.
Ah, okay. This looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's gloriously unhinged. Such a fun watch.
Yeah, this looks really good. Cherry on top, it has Lee Byung Hin.
Yeah, that's the Squid Game guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really good. Yeah, I would definitely check this out. Ooh, okay. Yes, this looks pretty good.
We're going to wrap up.
I was gonna wrap up by just looking at the box office for this year. Um, as I said before, at 1.9 billion is Naja 2, and then skyrocketing to the second place after coming out 2 weeks ago is
Oh.
Zootopia 2 at 1.1 billion.
Yeah, that's a pretty big gap.
Insane.
It's almost, but for 2 weeks, it is really
2
crazy.
weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure it's the top Hollywood movie in China of all time.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, that's crazy numbers.
it beat Avatar, it beat Endgame, yeah, it beat a bunch of other stuff, and it's like whoa in China, and that's how you know it's big. I remember seeing an interview the other day with Ki Hui Kwan, who plays like the snake character, and he was like, I knew Zootopia 2 was going to be special because I got offered to play the role of a snake in the year of the snake. So he was like, I knew it was gonna do well. Yeah, you haven't seen Zootopia 2 yet, right?
No, unfortunately not. I guess soon, but it's not really urgent either.
Yeah, it's not really urgent. I think it's a banger sequel. Like, see, I was when I watched it, I was like, see Disney, good original sequel equals good, not original sequel equals bad. So keep doing that, right? Three, 4, and 5 are all kind of bad. Not bad, but like not great movies. It's Lilo and Stitch, Minecraft, and Jurassic World.
How did we come to this?
How do we come to a world where the Minecraft movie makes $958,000?
We will go over this some other time.
Not thousand, sorry, 958 million.
Yeah.
Sorry, not thousand. That was a bit weird. But, dude, why? Is it because Steve water bucket MLGs? Like, why are we doing this?
So probably like 100 million of that comes from the the chicken jockey.
Oh my god. And at number 3, we have Ohana means family. Ohana means leaving your sister behind to the government and going to pursue my dream course in university. Yeah. And Jurassic World. I think I've said this to you. I don't know whether I haven't said this on here, definitely. Jurassic World or the Jurassic Park franchise is a movie where I want to see people scream, run or shoot at dinosaur. Like, and dinosaur fighting. Like, that's all I want to see. I don't need to know backstories of characters. I don't need to feel emotional with the connections that some characters have and oh no, that guy died. No. I just want to see dinosaurs. Like, leave me alone, right? And yeah, it was bad. Jurassic World was bad for me. Have you seen it?
No, I do not plan to anytime soon.
Don't. Just don't. At number 6 we have Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. Are you actually? I don't know if you are an anime guy. I don't think you are.
No, I'm not.
No, you're
Not that kind of anime anyway. The only one I've watched is Cyberpunk.
Oh, Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is just cinema.
Oh, we should do that some other time. It's like most depressing pieces of media.
Oh no, that's gonna be so sad to cover. Yeah, but since neither of us are that much into anime, I'm gonna skip over this one. If you are into anime, please put your thoughts down in the comments. Please do that. How to Train Your Dragon. I think for a remake, it's really good for me. Um, F1. Now I haven't seen F1, but you have. Anything to say about F1?
Mm, I'm just gonna come out and say that it's not great.
Hmm.
It's not great, and if you catch me in a bad mood, I would say it's not even good, man. Like for 2.5 hours long, I really like the
It's two and a
race
half
scene.
hours long.
It is. The
Damn.
race scenes are just incredible, top shelf stuff. And like they have this like camera rig where they were able to capture it from the perspective of the driver, and that's
Hmm.
amazing. If they did not cut away from that angle every 15 seconds to show like either an aerial shot or a front shot, it's just like you go to so much effort to create a camera rig that has never been done before, and you can't even be bothered to show like a full 5 minute race simply from that perspective. And that coupled with the atrocious romance side plot, it completely turns it off for me. I do not see what people are seeing. I'm sorry.
Wasn't there like and then one character? I don't know her name, but wasn't there one character that they completely cut out of the movie? Hello there. The our footage for this episode kind of got cut off. But don't worry, you guys didn't miss much. Talk a bit. We talk like only a slightly bit more about F1, and then we talk about Mission Impossible for a bit and how Tom Cruise is old and he can't do stunts. But yeah, nothing really new that you guys miss out on. So yeah, I'm just here to tell you to thank you for listening, thank you for watching. Please stay tuned. There's gonna be more releasing soon, and yeah, let us know if you like it. Drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe, do all the normal YouTube things. We do have our usual hot takes link in our description, so make sure to submit your hot takes and questions there, and we can probably discuss that. And that's a way for you guys to be engaged with our podcast. So, yep. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.